What is a good world travel tool watch? I've got 3 of them here from my collection that I really enjoy that I want to share with you. I've got this Porsche Design roll timer. I've got a Tudor Black Shield. This is the ceramic, and it's just feels great. And then I've also got this Bremont Ulti B. This is the pilot's watch. Beautiful. I mean, when you look at the design on this, it reminds me of Darth Vader. I don't know if I think that it just does. It's really dark black. It's got a little bit of white in some areas, and it's also got some red, which I think is really cool. You know what? Tool watches are about travel. Tool watches are about traveling the planet, having something that you can use that fits your wrist well and also serves a purpose to you. It could be a chronograph, it could be a roll timer, it could also be an aviation watch, which we've got here with this Bremont. For me, one of the first things you see when you pick up a watch like this is obviously its fit and finish, how it feels. And when I put them all in my hand, they're just all so well made. It's hard to distinguish which one is the best. This is a hardened steel on this Bremont, and it just feels heavy, and it feels like it's made for action. And even though it's 43 millimeters, it feels very small. It does not feel like 43 millimeters at all. The Tudor has that great ceramic feel. You know, it's like almost cold, but it's not. And it just feels great when you put your finger against it and touch it. But this one, of course, is much smaller. It's a 41 millimeter, but I still think it fits well. And that's very much aligned with what you see from Tudor or what you see from Rolex. It's very similar design when you go to that 41 millimeter. And then with this Porsche Design, you're going to have something a bit more hefty, a bit bigger. You're going to see that it's even thicker and taller, and it's just a different type of watch, a different style in general. But for somebody like me, I don't mind it. I like it. I think it's cool. I think it looks like one of those, wall clocks that you have, but it's on your wrist, which for some people that might be tacky or kind of ugly, but I like that. I like the German design. I think it's cool and it's fun, and it's a very functional kind of watch. When we look at the features of these watches, what's important about them when it comes to functionality is you're going to have a multi-time zone on this watch. So when you're traveling, you can see what the other time zones are compared to the time zone that you're currently in, which I think is just a great function. With the Tudor, you're going to get the sub-dials for a chronograph, of course. And another cool function about this, or something else that I think is important, is that this has a huge amount of water resistance for what it is. But to be honest, though, I mean, it doesn't have the strap for it. Obviously, you want to have a strap that's made for diving or for water type activities. And usually that's a rubber strap, or that's a really different, maybe kind of NATO strap if you're looking for that. And onto the Bremont, this actually has different kinds of straps that come with it if you purchase a set. This one right here that I have actually has this leather strap, but you can go with the NATO strap as well. And I think this is a nice watch when it comes to that activity. If you're going to be rough and you're already beating it up, I think that this can handle it because of the hardened steel. And I think the visibility is pretty good. For some people, it might not be as good if they're doing it in highly lit conditions, but I think in low light conditions with a little bit of contrast, I think this works out very well. When it comes to the Porsche Design, I mean, you can't beat it. It's super easy to read no matter what the distance is. And I think in enlivened conditions is great. That's probably what makes this the best, in my opinion, for visibility. Because if you're looking for something specific, you're trying to pay attention to the time, this is easy for you just to glance at and see. You don't have to pay attention to it. You don't have to really look at it much more than that. The Tudor, it's not the most visible. I think it's the most attractive looking, but the visibility is kind of weak on it because it's a little bit busy in there. But I do like the second hand. I like how it has a little red tick. I think that's great. I like a contrast like that. They all have I know what's funny is all of these actually have a little bit of red on, because even the second hand on this one has a little bit of red right at the tip of it, which is pretty cool. The price differences are not that significant between these. I mean, you're looking at around $6,000 with most of these watches. This one comes in around $5,000, and then these ones come in around $6,000, $6,250, $6,500, depending on how you pick it up and what the MSRP was when you picked it up. So they're all around the $6,000, $5,000 mark, which I think is pretty standard for a watch of this level of, I would say, craftsmanship and watchmaking. The strap, once again, on this Porsche, it's a heavy duty rubber. I like that. I like rubber on my straps often because if you're gonna sweat or even get rough with it, you just don't feel so bad about it. When I wear leather and if I sweat against it or I'm being physically active, I have to say I can feel it on my wrist. I feel like the wearing of the material against my wrist. I'm not really so into that. This one is actually a little bit softer, which I wore this watch in very different conditions, and I have to say it's super comfortable. The design of it and also the feel of the bracelet, it just is very comfortable, and I've enjoyed over the course that I've been using this watch. I actually kind of like how it's soft. The type of leather that they use has that soft feel to it. What I mean by that is the texture, and it feels good on the wrist is something I've learned to like. You know, if I have to say what's the biggest problem with this one, it is a little bit too big. With time, if you're wearing it all day, you kind of push it back on your wrist a little bit because the two dials right here are the two manipulators right here. They kind of rub against your wrist every once in a while when you're moving quite a bit, or if you've been, I don't know, sweating or getting physical at all, you can kind of feel them rubbing against it. Something I don't like about that. I guess you could switch it over to your right hand if you wanted to and switch it around. Maybe that would help out. But for me, I'm usually wear my watches on my left hand, so I just don't like that rubbing that comes from that. I prefer it over here like this, maybe, you know. And as you can tell, I don't normally wear it on right because I'm not even sure I put it on. I mean, I guess it kind of works, you know, but that's just not really what I do. I don't wear watches on my right, but you could do this with this one, and I think that would kind of fix that part right there where you have, you know, these two, you know, manipulators are just a little bit too pushed out, a little bit too heavy duty for what it is. On the Bremont, when I put it on the wrist, it's a little bit tighter because of the type of band that we have here, this wristband. It's a very, I would say, tough leather, which is good, you know, if you want it to last for years, but because it's so tough, it feels a little bit harder. But between these three watches, the one that I would say that I enjoy the most and that I would probably wear most often, honestly, it's between the Tudor and the Porsche. And I think that I wore the Porsche more often than the Tudor because of the rubber bracelet. So between these world timer, tool type watches, I would say in this grouping, I'd be happy with any of them. But the Porsche is one that I probably wear most often. Please drop some comments down there. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what you think. I'm always interested. Tell me about any other ideas that you might have when it comes to world timer or any type of tool watches. Love to hear your opinions. If you have any of these on your wish list, or if you want to share this with somebody that should have it on their wish list, be sure to share it. You know, also subscribe. That's what keeps this channel growing and continues to bring you all the content that I can.